So I told the doctor that the burning just won't go away. I mean, I have no idea why.
Have you been putting the lotion?
I have been putting the lotion, but also I've been trying to...
Puts the lotion on the skin and puts it in the
I've been
basket.
trying to deal with that, too. You know,
it does with his shoulder against the hose again. Puts the lotion on his skin or gets the Tracy cut coming.
It's just now. Oh! Hey! We're back! Hi! Yes. He's got someone in his basement. I got a visitor of my own. Alright, we're talking about DC Comics editorial problems. We're talking about it. He's dying, apparently. So let's get started. We covered over George Perez for a minute. Of course, everyone knows George Perez, if you don't know, is a legendary artist and writer in his own style.
Crisis?
Crisis defined the Teen Titans that everyone knows. If you like the Teen Titans series, hey, guess what? He's one of the two reasons you like that show. This has nothing to do with DC whatsoever.
Oh, Susie. Oh, konnichiwa. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto.
Nah. We're trying not to do the Joker persona without the Joker.
Oh, hey.
Happy ending.
Oh, my God.
You want happy ending?
This is by this point I would apologize to the Japanese viewing audience, if we had Japanese viewing audience members. But I'm not going to, because this is why we got them on here.
Only three people watch.
But hey, you know what?
Us three.
Yes.
We're like the only
well,
ones
I am a quarter Japanese.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not, but still.
You might know a Japanese guy.
George Perez.
Great guy.
Legendary artist, legendary writer, longtime worker at DC. He's been in the executive positions. He's been in the
loves the cosplaying community.
The free, what was it? The free writing, the whatever you want to call it. Now I forget.
The Heroes.
Whatever.
Initiative.
I'm completely now just trying to recollect my thoughts. He's been in this comic book industry for about 40 years plus, and this is the first time I think I've ever known him to walk away from something, citing any editorial problem issues. Ian, you kind of know a little bit on the insides of comic book worlds and stuff like that. What does that tell you?
His strife. He loves Superman. That's his kind of go-to character. He's been wanting to do the Superman run for a long time, and for him to walk away, not only could it not just been frustrating, it had to be downright miserable for him to walk away. He won't say it; he's too professional to say it. But he wasn't going to walk away unless their problem was so bad that it's just completely intolerable.
And he has gone to say, what little he has said, because he's kept his silence fairly well. Because again, professional. But he has said that one of the major issues was the fact that he could never get any word on what was going on in Action Comics, which is a prequel to his stuff, as it were. Again, now is that a failure in editorial? Is that a failure on behalf of the action writer, Grant Morrison, to keep him in the loop? Like who do you blame in that situation? Is there any blame? I don't want to say blame.
There is.
What do you think? What isn't an editor's job to get that kind of information?
I will say I think it is possible that he couldn't have been able to work without it. He could have just submitted a story that he wanted to do, just backstory be damned. He could write a story that doesn't require backstory. It can be done, which I would kind of wish he would have done. But if he wants to keep a continuity going, he has to know what's going on. And the writing the script to publishing time is so long that you have to have at least a storyboard of what's going on in other comics. He doesn't have to know word for word details. He doesn't need.
But an overarch.
But just a brief arc. Yeah, cliff notes. Like I said, storyboarding would go a long way. And if they weren't able to get him that, or there's a refusal to get him that, whether it's on the editorial side or on Grant Morrison's side, that's intolerable. That's wrong, unprofessional.
Again, that's not playing with the characters in the sandbox evenly.
I think a lot of times people need to forget it's not their book.
That's very true.
It's DC's book. You can be proud of your work, but it's not your character.
And it's not.
That goes to George Perez. That goes to Grant Morrison. Then even goes to the editors.
Morrison is very well known for trying to keep a lot of his stuff under wraps, even from people within that company, because he likes that element of surprise.
And I think that's what hurts him too.
Well, yeah.
It's because of that. When you don't have people communicating with what's going on and what, yeah, you're going to have that frustration. Because I think also, too, George Perez probably got aggravated because he knows that the fans out there want some form of continuity. Otherwise, that's going to blaze. And he could also been looking at it as far as for the company going, you know, that if there's not a form of continuity, sales will probably drop. People probably won't have, you know, Action Comics and Superman because they'll get frustrated. It's like, well, I read this and it contradicts in this. And people will probably either drop the books or they won't continue. They'll either read this one and not this one, or this one instead of reading that one also.
Yeah. That's actually a really good point because he was a part of the Crisis on Infinite Earths, so he was also present for the post-crisis and all the continuity issues that came out of a bad editorial decision by DC, which was to stagger those releases. So yeah, he also, that's right, it's a good point. He actually could be very cognizant of the fact that we got a new chance to fix any of this stuff, and so he wants to not create that. Again, that's all supposition. That's all, you know, we don't really know what goes on behind those closed doors.
So we don't know all the details. It makes it frustrating. That's why I don't want to place blame. And I said, that's why I want to say Perez should be able to tell his own story. And if he hears back that there's a continuity problem, and go, well, why didn't you tell me?
Good point. And again, also, you can always redo it in the trade. Yeah. They have done that before. They have actually they've actually revised stuff in the trade.
Like with the Killing Joke?
Yeah. Well,
so that was new artwork, though.
Now, you got a similar situation, but kind of different if we'll jump to right now, with Giffen. He's working on, he's doing the Threshold series right now. I think that's him. Yeah. He just got off something else that I can't think about. Not Legion. He's off Legion now, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, he had done Justice League International.
Which is,
but it's Giffen working with Paul Levitz, a man he's worked with before. They did some great stories together, the Great Darkness Saga, the one that all Legion stories are defined by.
Didn't they also do the Booster Gold Justice League?
He did. He worked with someone else, though. I don't think it was Paul. It was Keith and someone else, and I can't think of his name to save my life. Now it's going to bug me until I figure it out. But yeah, so this is one legendary artist working with a guy he's teamed with before from nearly a decade. There's really no other book. I mean, this is it. This is the only Legion book. It's in the future. They don't really need to know too much. No. And two issues later, he's apparently gone. Yeah. I mean, what?
There's where a little transparency would be nice. We like to know why things are changing, but I guess they're a private company. They don't have to.
Yeah, they don't have to. Well, yeah,
they should. They don't.
They have to. Yeah, that's one of the other interesting things is
no accountability. Always sucks.
I mean, was the editorial on that book just so bad? Was the stress on it so bad? I don't.
Maybe it was Two Legends. Maybe the script wasn't getting to him on time. Maybe he was taking too long.
Working Threshold. That's a good point. Maybe he's just tired of drawing. Because he likes writing now.
Maybe he got another project.
But, again, nothing from Keith on this one. He's just kind of kept his head down. He's moved on, apparently. As far as I know, if the solicits are to be any indication. Yeah. Which I hate because I was kind of looking forward to some Legendary. See if we can have that magic in the bottle again. One person that did not.
Lightning.
Yeah, the lightning and all that. One person who doesn't really catch lightning, and one person who does not do professional stuff, is Rob Liefeld.
Not known for his professionalism.
Not really well known.
Or feet.
Yeah, or proportionate upper bodies to the torso. He's not known for a lot. He's known for a lot of stuff, and most of it's very negative. But we're not going to bash Liefeld on this. I'm not.
He brought Deadpool.
He did. He did create Deadpool, which became more popular than the guy he was ripping it off of.
And Cable.
And Cable, who has his almost anyway.
Anyway, working around forever.
Yeah, thanks to Liefeld.
He's married to a supermodel.
No. Who?
Liefeld.
To who?
I can't remember her name right now, but
well, let's gotta look this up now. We gotta find that out. Who the hell would bed Liefeld?
It would make us sad because it was hotter than anyone would get.
That would make me very sad.
Network, Sci-Fi.
Liefeld, of course, he took over Grifter. Yeah. Halfway through it, he took over Deathstroke, and he took over Savage Hawkman.
Cancel.
And they're all three gone now, actually, yeah. And he's been gone, actually, from all three books. Yeah. Well, he left Grifter when Grifter was canceled. and the other 2 books have now been canceled post
Or
him.
we like to call it damage done.
Damage, yes, very much done. And he is actually, out of all the ones that have been fired, he's been the most vocal about it. Pretty much going out and naming the editors that have issues.
Well, this is where I'm going to call a double whammy. I think there was very little good direction for any of those books. I don't think all of that was Liefeld's fault.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't help, though.
No, and what he did put out was a very strong indictment against DC editorial. I know Hawkman had its own major issues. I think 3 editors in a month or 2. That's a major creative change behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Because that means direction has changed, period, regardless of who's writing or drawing it. He himself has said he's walked off that book numerous times, all of his books numerous times, and then come back, I guess, because of the money or whatever. And one of the biggest things is, you can't get out of that ink. Not them bunny lawyers.
It's called whiteout.
Warner Brothers has some big old lawyers.
They have some bigger grapes, and Rob had some major sour grapes. And one of the things that he pointed out was saying that apparently there was a big story for Grifter that there's going to be a focus on Grifter because they're going to have a big focus on the Damonites, which, if anyone who read the Superman stuff knows that was actually coming up, and then it
disappeared.
It disappeared completely, and Grifter had to be rewritten.
Yeah.
Savage Hawkman had to be rewritten. So many other things, last minute rewrites actually, not in just like simple changes. An entire story would have to be rewritten.
Which means any artwork that was pre-done was
dead on the water. Again, so I mean, with this kind of a major shift, and again, this you can always make the case. This is Liefeld just being Liefeld and venting and expounding and building up even more than what the problem is.
Yeah.
But then you start taking in again everything else that's come before and after. How much is him just being bullshit, and how much is him actually just telling the truth because he doesn't need to not?
Yeah. I guess he already knows that bridge is burned. He's just willing to make all the noise
on the way
out.
Anything else to add to that one?